From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. With the U.S. federal government shutdown now into its second day, the Trump administration is warning that it could start firing federal workers as soon as today. Military members and many other workers deemed essential continue to work without pay, while 750,000 others have been furloughed. But White House officials have warned the government could move to make cuts permanent. More from ABC's Nicole D'Antonio.
The White House is also targeting Democratic states with a wave of cuts to federal projects. The cuts will impact 16 states, including $18 billion for infrastructure projects in New York.
This shutdown has been caused by a congressional stalemate and a funding lapse. There will be no votes today in the Senate as Congress observes the Yom Kippur holiday. Lumber producers in British Columbia face an additional 10% tariff on exports to the U.S. later this month, following Monday's announcement by U.S. President Donald Trump, who cited BC lumber as a threat to national security. Premier David Eby says this latest announcement is another direct attack on the provincial lumber industry.
I want you to just keep in mind the perspective that Russia now has preferential access for their softwood to the U.S. market compared with Canada and British Columbia. It's completely absurd.
Canadian softwood entering the States will see total import taxes above 45%. Quebec's chief electoral officer says he's making a special decision to allow municipalities to deliver election-related documents by means other than direct delivery to voters' doors ahead of November's municipal elections. Jean-François Blanchette says the move is necessary given the strike by Canada Post workers that began last week. The search for a 6-year-old autistic boy missing now for nearly 12 days in mountainous terrain in southern Alberta has been called off. RCMP Corporal Gina Slaney said yesterday the intensive search for Darius McDougall in the Crow's Nest Pass area has not turned up any trace of the boy.
At this point, if Darius is still in the search site, it is our belief that he is no longer alive.
Police do not believe any foul play was involved. Maple Leafs pork business spinoff, Canada Packers Incorporated, is set to make its Toronto Stock Exchange debut today.
Maple Leaf completed the spin-off of its pork operations on Wednesday. The new standalone company, which will focus on hog production and processing, is being led by Dennis Organ, who joined Maple Leaf Foods in February of 2023 as president of the pork complex. Maple Leaf Foods is keeping a 16% stake in Canada Packers, and the two companies have entered into an evergreen supply agreement. It will also be an anchor customer for Canada Packers, which will supply pork for its prepared meats business. Rob Westgate, The Canadian Press.
This is The Canadian Press. In sports, one of the 4 Major League Baseball wild card series is over. The Los Angeles Dodgers are the first of the wild card teams to advance to the National League Divisional Series. Dodgers scoring an 8-4 win over the Cincinnati Reds. The other 3 wild card series are tied at 1 game apiece in their 3-game matchups. Mississauga, Ontario's Bo Naylor homered during a 5-run 8th inning, and the Cleveland Guardians beat the Detroit Tigers 6-1. And the New York Yankees extended their season with a 4-3 victory over the Boston Red Sox. Thomas Mueller won the 35th trophy of his decorated career last night as pro soccer's Vancouver Whitecaps beat Vancouver FC 4-2 to claim their 4th straight Canadian championship. The Voyageurs Cup victory made Mueller the most decorated German soccer player of all time.
It's a nice number, but in the end it's the feeling with the boys, with the crowds.
Mueller scored the 300th goal of his career. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.